Hello, good morning. I'm Eugene Mosley. One area, and there are many, but there's one area that really means a lot, I think, to the family when it comes to planning. That a lot of people not necessarily overlook, but they don't put as much time and energy into um, to making sure that things are good and right and that and I'm going to get right to it is life insurance. I would like to become a resource for you. There are some areas, there are some planning areas that every individual, I believe, no matter what age, there are some planning um, techniques, philosophies that you have to employ, particularly if you have a young family. Um, Everybody has dreams, goals. Everybody understands that you have to get up and go to work to make things happen. But there is a way to secure your family um, so that in the event these plans are not completed, that it doesn't leave the family in a bind. So, much like I would if I were talking to someone or wanting to meet with someone to get a conversation started about life insurance, planning, that's kind of the role that I would like to fill for you. You know, I know that everyone will need the services that a life insurance agent or financial services agent provides. Certainly, there are more tools, there are more financial tools that one would need in order to be successful in the long run. But statistically, 65%, and it could be higher, 65% of people are not prepared when at age 65. 65% of people are not prepared to take on the responsibilities and to maintain the lifestyle that is, for many people, it's become kind of the way we enjoy how we live. So we want to make sure that as you make decisions, as your family grows, as you purchase property, as you prepare to send your children to college, that you are prepared. And one of the easiest ways um, to make sure that your family is protected is, of course, life insurance. Now, if you don't have children, if you're financially in good shape, if you're saving really, really good, disability insurance is going to be important. And then long-term care. Many people, I talk to people quite a bit. I had a conversation with someone recently where they were dealing with a father who is in his senior state of life, and they're beginning to understand that there was perhaps some things they could have done differently in order to make sure that they were prepared when it came time to take care of the business that's involved. So, you know, some basic questions that you want to ask yourself is, how prepared are you? Have you looked at your life insurance policies lately? Have you considered whether or not, if they're term policies, have you considered when are they going to run out? And if you'll need additional insurance after that period of time. I tell my clients there's nothing wrong with having more than one life insurance policy. For instance, if you've just purchased a home, you might want a life insurance policy, particularly just to take care of that mortgage. If you know that your children will be going to college within the next 2 or 3 years, go ahead and think about maybe a 10-year term, a very low cost, inexpensive way to make sure that while your children are in college, that there would not be any upset to the family if for some reason a key breadwinner is not there to provide that income. And the key is the breadwinner. So who in the family, which one of the parents, if it's both, then both parents need to be concerned about making sure that there is adequate life insurance to protect that family. So um, over the next few videos, I'll be talking about that. Just, you know, how do you come up with those numbers? I'm not an agent that prescribes to just throwing a number out at a client and saying, here, take this. I think that requires some analysis. That requires some sit down, a good, healthy conversation about what is it you owe on your home? How much debt do you have? What is the current income of the family, and how much of that income will that family need in order for that family to continue in the absence of a loved one? So those are the kind of questions that we want to think about. What I'll tell you right off the bat is, if you have children and you're buying a home and you're between the ages of 35 and 50, that number may scare you. Life insurance is fundamental. I cannot say enough how important it is to review those coverages. And regardless of what you think about life insurance or insurance in general, you can't get around it. You've got to think about the long term. You've got to think about planning. And for no other reason, if you have, say, term life insurance that's not convertible, meaning you can't convert it to something that will become permanent and pay off later in life, down the road in your 70s or 80s or 90s, or perhaps even at age 100, then I question whether that is the right product for you. If you're saving a ton of money and you don't need life insurance and your investments are doing great, that's a best case scenario. And I'm sure that there are some people out here who save adequately, who have so much money in savings, perhaps, that they don't need life insurance. But then I question whether or not that is a good strategy from an estate planning point of view. So you cannot just think about, I don't believe in whole life. I mean, there's that philosophy going on out there. But I believe that everyone needs, even if it's no more than a 10 or 25,000 or, whatever you estimate it's going to cost to effectively put away a loved one the right way. There's no way to estimate what that's going to cost 20 years from now. So that's why whole life insurance might be something that you would want to have included in your portfolio. So I will continue to discuss. If you have questions, feel free to ask. I'll be glad to answer them. I think that would be great. I really feel that there is a void, a vacuum in the market when it comes to good life underwriters sitting down, making sure people have the proper needs taken care of along the way. And it doesn't necessarily mean that we're planning on anyone to die. We're planning on you having a successful strategy. So there is a way, even if you're not insurable. There are products out there that are guaranteed issue products that, depending on the severity of your health, after 2 years, the life insurance policy would pay up in full. And if you pass away before 2 years are up, your family would get the life insurance premium plus a fair interest rate, which, had you saved it in a checking account or a savings account, that additional interest would not be paid. So let's think about long-term planning. Let's think about short-term planning. If you have a family, let's think about what would happen immediately. And then let's think about in the long term, once those children are grown, emancipated out of the house, how will you manage with perhaps a smaller amount of income and maintain those life insurance policies for a wife or a husband in the event it's going to happen. So it's not in the event, it's something that's going to happen. So we need to make sure that we're planning towards that end. And it's just wisdom that we think about these things while we're able to pay for them and while we have the health to buy it. My name is Eugene Mosley. I am a insurance and financial services agent. I am happy to talk with you about your personal or private matters. I can be reached at 251-649-8885. 9911. Have a great day, and if I can help, please let me know. I will be back. Please look out for more of these videos, and if you have questions, ask, and I'll be glad to answer them. Thank you so much. Have a wonderful day.